Hi everybody, it's Jeanette Vilda. So today's project is kind of large. I got this book at a flea market. Wonderful book, had really huge pictures of roses. And I gutted it and kept the cover, not knowing what in the world I was ever going to do with it. And here we are. So this is my version of a lapbook of sorts. This is a project for the company Relative History. They're a scrapbook company up in the UK, and the majority of their papers pretty much follow what you would think, relative history. So this project utilizes the family tree collection. And I was looking at the papers, and back when a branch of our family had done a family tree and had sent it off to us to say, here's your family tree. And I think I just, cool, found some new people in our family, and that was great, but I never really thought about it. And since he had done it all, I never thought about, what it took to put a genealogy together. And so when I was looking at the paper, and I decided to do a little research and found it's really not as easy as just going, hey, who was your mommy? So, who's your daddy? So I thought, well, what would I need to do if I were, going to set about putting together my genealogy? So I did a little research and found a couple of places where, if you want to do a basic, kind of research, here's the kinds of things that you would want to keep together while you do that. So I decided, hey, I would create a lapbook. It can serve as your working area. So this is where I keep all my stuff while I'm working on putting my genealogy together. But then it also can be, I've finished, and it turns into a nice place to just house your genealogy. So it's like the family heirloom, if you will, of here is our family. Now, as you can see, I ended up not doing anything to the cover. I just loved this rose that's on here, and there's really so much going on that it's so big. I couldn't think of how would I do, so it's just gorgeous. Leave it as it is. So now I got to figure out how to get everything in frame. So you can see that's why I'm all pulled back here, but it lifts up, and you've got two areas, and I'll turn it to the side for now and then show each individually. So as you can see, there's two sides. I would call this the working side, and this is basically I've got my research, and I'm going to now lay it out. Here is my family tree. And let's see, let me figure out how I can do this to show you. I'll do it like that. There we go. So on this side, what I did was I wanted to make sure that you can go one or two ways. When you're working on it, you can change these out. And so here, let me show. So this is just one of the really beautiful pieces of scrapbook paper that you can get at Relative History, and I just loved it. So it's really, you can do what you will. Like I said, this can be where you finalize pieces and say this is our family, maybe put some pictures in these little circles. It's just a beautiful, beautiful page. And this is held down with magnets. I am a magnet fiend. There's a bunch load of magnets in here. This opens up, and let me see if I can shift this a bit. There we go. Oh boy, this is too big, Jeanette. You made it way too big. Now you can't put it in camera. So this was a full sheet, 12 by 12 sheet of scrapbook paper, but I cut out this little where you can see the spread out of your family. I love this. And this was on the page. I just put that in so you can see this is your little family chart. On this side, as you can see, this is held in with photo squares or photo corners. So that, like I said, you can As you're working on something, like you want to follow one side of the family and put together your family chart with that, then there you go. And then you want to do another one, you can take this out, put in another one of the 12 by 12 sheets, and keep going. Or when you're done, you can always just glue it in, and you've got your final, and the back here to just one of the cutouts from one of the pages, and that's where the magnet is held. But it's also pretty, so that when you take this out, you still have something nice and pretty to look at. Like I said, that just slides into the photo corners, and you can take it out to work on and then slide it back in. I say slide, and it's not sliding. There we go. So this is this side, more the display side. And this, as I said, is the working side. I'll see if I can do this upside down and with this balancing on me. All right. So, like I said, what I did was did a check on what kinds of things would, and I'm going to keep drinking tea because I'm still having coughs. What kinds of things would I need to keep track of in order to work on my genealogy, my family tree, as I move forward and work on it? So I have space here. These are cards that you get with the family tree kit. I love them. You can use these to keep track of notes. Maybe if you find pictures along with your, as you're doing your research, you can put the pictures on the cards. So those are just, I have them kind of randomly placed around in there at the moment. There's also a pocket, I'll take this back out. So there's also a pocket here. It's just that these postcards I made it nice and big, so it goes all the way to the end. So that plenty of pocket space here to hold research. So two big things in terms of loose paper. They suggested having a place for maps and having a place for records. So, like I said, lots of pockets, so you can put in your maps and your records. And I assume when they say maps, maybe if you found the family plot of your ancestors, a map of the tombstones. I know that, like I said, when my family did that, I believe there was one of those in there. Don't remember. Might be thinking, my friend of mine back in high school was really big into doing his genealogy, and I never paid too much attention to what he was doing, but he shared that all the time, and he was always running around and getting pictures of cemeteries where he would find his ancestors. So on this side, and again, this is held in with magnets. On this side is another pouch, so a nice pouch, big, to hold more stuff. Like I wanted to make sure you had lots of room for records, and like I said, maps were the two things that they suggested having place for. And here's some more of these wonderful cards. And for right now, I'm going to flip back. Oops. Close. That's held with a magnet, so it doesn't flop open when you're shutting this. And I'm going to open this side, and whoops, that was good, Jeanette. I flipped it with my finger. These are also held in with magnets. So two things on here. So this one, there's these wonderful little tags that come with this kit. And what I like about this is you can, as you're working, keep track of individual people. And then what you could do is on your work surface, lay them out, and you can see your family tree. And then you can use that to then fill in your family tree. So these are quite useful. And they're made, again, with this wonderful linen paper. I'm not sure if what you get, but I love the texture, and boy, it takes ink beautifully. It's really nice. So it's just a little pocket to keep track of those. As you can see all over, I used, there was actually a 12 by 12 sheet that had, again, another family tree with these circles around it. It's sort of like this image up here, so you could have like pictures. But I thought they worked really nice as labels. So you could label this, your record tags. I didn't put anything on the labels so that whoever uses this Lapbook can say, define what they wanted on there. One of the other things that it recommended was having a to-do list. So this is a little to-do list pad. And I went through, and they're serrated so that they'll tear right out. So as you go, you can tear them out, put, keep it with you for what you're going to do. And they're just tight in there, so you can add more to-do lists as you go, or if just plain paper, however you want to do that. And again, that's held there with magnets, and those are both held with magnets. So the other two things that it recommended was just a set of notes and a set of records. And so again, I just went ahead and created, there's two more of these wonderful cards. Just created two notebooks, and again, didn't label them, so you can decide something else for them. But I am a sucker for the grid paper. I like it because I can also plot things out with it. And so there's plenty of paper in these. And again, they're bound with twine. So when you finish with this paper and you need more, very simply to add in more paper. And those go into these little pockets. So it covers all of the bases that my search said that you needed to have. And as you can see down here, down the middle, I didn't want this to crush, right? So this is just a balance for the 2 pages. So they nicely, and it also holds them up and they don't crush in. So that's why that's there, in case you're wondering. So I know that was pretty quick, but I think this will be a very versatile, useful thing if, for instance, you're looking to do your genealogy. Of course, if you're not and you want to use it for just keeping track of some family things, it works for that as well. But I hope you like that. I really loved making this. This was a blast coming up with it. And everything in here, all the papers, the cardstock, everything but the black cardstock, that was from my stash. But all of the cardstock, even this paper here, this was cut out of the same paper that I cut these pieces out of. Everything was done using the paper from Relative History. And all of these black stripes, those were the frame around some of the scrapbook papers. So I cut out the middle and kept those pieces, and I think they worked really nicely. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hope it gave you some ideas, and I hope that this will someday go to someone who really is interested in looking at their family history, their genealogy, and it gets some use. I might, I think I might want to make more of these, because it was really fun, and 2, it's kind of nice to think of keeping track of your family history in a really pretty way that you can then pass on, and yet it's versatile, and so you can use it while you're working on that as well. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll have all the information down below to link to Relative History, so you can see where to get these papers. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.